Hello.
Hello.
Hey, ni aje?
Poa sana labda.
Ni presenter Alia.
Hi.
Nakuulizaje? So I'm doing my show. And I'm trying to follow up on history yako na AJ. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what exactly happened? And it was Deno Bright. He owned a Mercedes G-Wagon among other cars. I think he had an AMG pia. Alikuwa tuna gari nyingi. Nasikia pia alikuwa Kirinyaga University?
Kirinyaga University.
Yeah, so this guy, he died. The cause of death ni alcohol. Alikunywa pombe nyingi sana.
That's what people are saying. Oh, the friends that alikuwa na wao. Okay. Your story yake kuna, it has so very many questions.
Yes.
Because first of all, kwani hao mabeshe zake walichukua how long to find out that he slept for too long? I will just you see, because how long is too long? Because mtu anaweza chill, let's say for instance,
Amke the next day.
Yeah, amke the next day. How long was it long enough to find out? I wish angekuwa amekupatia hiyo detail, but
On air. Presenter Ali.
Hii ni On Air with the presenter Ali, and of course niko na jamaa wangu wa nguvu
Just for Bravo aka Just Beast.
Yeah, and of course kila wakati tunazungumzia story tofauti ambazo ziko kwenye mtandao, na leo tunaanza hii story na is this guy who people are saying that he was a 25-year-old billionaire.
Yeah.
For the first time nimesikia 25-year-old billionaire. Of course apart from Cairo, alisema pia yeye ni billionaire.
Okay.
So this guy was a Forex trader. Hiyo ndio kitu watu wanajua. That is in public domain. And it was Deno Bright. He owned a Mercedes G-Wagon among other cars. I think he had an AMG pia. Alikuwa tuna gari nyingi. Nasikia pia alikuwa Kirinyaga University?
Kirinyaga University.
Yeah, so this guy, he died. Na kumekuwa na stories nyingi zenye zimekuwa zikitokea, but one very, I would say, a source that alikuwa now has actually revealed a few details about his death, na nikaona maybe we can share this story.
Okay.
And you can give me your thoughts. So Deno Bright was actually alikuwa Mombasa among other guys. Allegedly alikuwa na kina Majesty. Majesty is also another young Forex trader, I think 21, 22 hapo, who owns a G-Wagon by the way pia.
Okay.
Alafu Sammy Boy nasikia pia alikuwa huko. Alikuwa pia Sammy Boy owns an AMG. Pia kuna gari kubwa sana. Akona nini? Inaitwa nini hiyo gari? Alikuwa na Audi TT, which was, I think ilipata ajali like a month or two ago. Na walikuwa they had pia other friends na some girls around. Walikuwa wanapiga sherehe Mombasa pale kwa beach. Then wakaanza kupiga shots over shots, Long Island, sijui nini. Hizo shots zote kijana akazima. So after amezima, wakasema juu kijana amezima, acha tumpeleke akapumzike kwa room sasa apumzike. So wakaenda wakaendelea na sherehe. Then later on, after some hours, wakasema kijana si amelala sana, let's go and check on him. Now that's when they found out that the guy is not breathing. And so as people are saying, is the cause of death ni alcohol. Alikunywa pombe nyingi sana.
That's what people are saying. Oh, the friends that alikuwa na wao. Okay. Your story yake kuna, it has so very many questions.
Yes.
Because first of all, kwani hao mabeshe zake walichukua how long to find out that he slept for too long? I will just you see, because how long is too long? Because mtu anaweza chill, let's say for instance.
Amke the next day.
Yeah, amke the next day. How long was it long enough to find out? I wish angekuwa amekupatia hiyo detail, but truth be told, this is not the first guy tunasikia na kufa mysteriously. Somebody very young,
very rich.
In fact, this guy alitengeneza pesa within a year. It was like within 1 year and he was that rich. Like it was just 2020
last year
2023. And which is very questionable. Making money that quick. And then they say it's Forex. Right. Okay, what I'm saying this is suspicious, and I'm saying these four things in that order is because this stuff is not the first time it's happening. There was this guy, I don't know if you remember this guy who was from KU. The guy who died, his story was like last year. This guy also made money really fast. He was 23 years old. He built the mama house, and he bought I think he also bought some
Mercedes Benz. I think
you remember that guy? Na pia alipatikana tu ameuliwa.
Na alikuwa na mabeshte zake.
Yeye pia alikuwa na mabeshte zake. Yeah. So I think this in a way it's just a wake up call for many of us, because young people, when we want to make it really fast, you know, of course the social media shows us that we need to make it fast. We are late already, because when you see everybody your age mate anakani kama make it, or some people even much younger than you, people in 17-year-old, 18, they have so much money, they're driving the biggest of cars.
Yeah, you're like I'm 21 and I'm still living in my mom's house. Na kuna rafiki yako tu ako 19 ama ako 20 na shanunua Mercedes G-Wagon, uko like hey. Hata babangu ana G-Wagon.
Hata kuna mtu kwenu ashaikuwa nayo.
You know. Yeah, so there's some pressure, by the way, that comes with it.
Yes, and people succumb to it. Some people wanna succumb to that pressure, and it's a sad reality. And the guys just need to understand that these things when okay, number one, we usually know so well. Anybody who has lived this life round enough knows that there's no way you can get rich quick. Like
there's no way.
There's no other way.
It's just no way.
There's no way.
Trust me.
And when there is a way in Kenya, we know that when that way happens to exist, tunajuaga inaitoga wash. You see?
Okay.
So it's not a coincidence that this thing is happening, and I believe people don't like to say this, but these guys, most of them wanajitaga guys wa Forex, ni watu wa wash.
It's scammers.
They're just scammers.
Okay.
Yeah, they just scam guys. The likes of who? This is your friend, anaitwa aje? Nitawaita tu hata kama ni best yako. The likes of
Kono unaogopa kusema.
No, I'm trying to remember the name. The Kenyan Prince guy.
Okay.
You know, you can the moment Kenyan Prince watu wanaona akona do. But now why these coincidences become so many until you can't help but believe is the fact that Kenyan Prince kuna many people wame come forward.
Wakasema
amewascam.
Yeah.
Na yeye hajaikataa. In fact, yeye waambia to prove it. Fanya hadi in some places guest wa place anambia there's this time this lady alimpigia kutoka US asije alikuwa amescam some money. Then I remember listening to the audios when they were talking, there's a place this alikuwa anambia do them atufanya chenye anaweza fanya. You see. So because maybe anafikiria wako na connections, and most of these guys that's what happened when you are in a weak system like ours, the police system, unapata that you can get away with any crime as long as you kuna money. So if you steal from enough people, ukuna enough money to keep you from jail. You understand? But you can do that, utakuwa successful within a short time, uta make that money, you'll steal from people. But there comes a day that you'll steal from the wrong person. You see, there just comes that day that you can outsmart everybody. They say that you can fool some people but you can't fool everybody all the time. They will get to that moment that you'll meet yule mtu mwenye uwezi mchezea na itakuramba vibaya sana. And that shows the kama lives kama these guys vile lives are. It's not a coincidence that these guys they get rich really quick
and they die
then they die really suddenly.
You
see? And if you ask me, I would not choose that. Of course there are other people who will choose kuishi a few years na enjoy rather than kuishi a long one and not enjoy. So That is it's just a sad reality, and I think this guy too he messed with the wrong guy. Alikula tu pesa ya mtu wrong.
Oh, for real? That's what you think?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. Because okay, fine. Now, do people die by alcohol poisoning or something?
Yeah, I had done some research actually initially, and
so that we see if there really a possibility of that happening, which I highly doubt, because hey, watu wanakunywa pombe bana.
According to what I had actually asked is let me just check it.
Can somebody die of alcohol?
Of over drinking, sindio?
Alcohol overdose.
So, inasema, yes, someone can die from alcohol poisoning. Alcohol poisoning occurs when someone drinks alcohol faster than their liver can process it. This raises blood concentration and impairs their brain's ability to control basic life functions such as breathing, heart rate, and temperatures.
Okay, but and I guess na vile wase wanakunywaga unapaka mse anapiga mashots, it has to be really then a lot of alcohol.
Not even about alcohol. You see, like when you're drinking, sometimes I might drink so much alcohol in over 8 hours. But let's say nimekunywa mzinga mbili,
piga shot,
lakini I'm not taking it faster. Like I'm just taking it slowly over those 8 hours compared to mtu amekunywa mzinga moja in
piga gulp the all of it, then you take the next bottle.
Yes, something of that sort. So I think if it is what it looks like, if it is alcohol yenye ilimua, it looks like maybe they were alikuwa na take hizo shots faster or something.
Okay, I will take that with a pinch of salt. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But what's really making me doubt it so much are these coincidences.
It's the pattern.
It's the pattern. Like these guys, they get rich so fast, then suddenly they die, and their death is not usually explainable.
And maybe how would you explain the accidents that occur? Because tuliona Sammy Boy amepata accident, tuliona Kenyan Prince amepata accident,
sure.
Tuliona nani mwingine? I think Kenyan Prince kwanza amepata accidents nyingi.
Yes.
How do you explain it?
Even this other guy anatoka States pia kuna time alikuwa anapata a lot of accidents.
For real?
Yeah, there was this time kwa case. This time when he was just ulikuwa mnaanza kumpata ma interviews. It is gari yake siji iliumia siji wapi. Then I was like, what is wrong with these guys and their accidents?
And also there's another guy I had his story of who got an accident while he was with the girlfriend. Something of that sort. And he died actually. So, do you think it has something to do with maybe the adrenaline that comes with, getting money at a young age? You just want a fast-paced life. I don't know.
And then that kills them. If that could be the case, then the people who could be dying the most in this world could be these social media stars, the likes of Ninja, or the likes of Mr. Beast, or athletes, because these are the guys who make so much money at a very young age.
But you see, they have access to things like an accountant, personal accountant.
You can't assume that. Can you assume that these other guys are accountants? These guys, our Kenyan guys who.
Sidhani wako nao. Okay, what would your explanation be?
I don't believe that it got anything to do with somebody getting money when they're really young, because even when you look at them, most of them, if it could be like a suicide, you could say that they get money really young, or accidents. Let's say amekufa kwa accident, but the ones that end up dying, inakuwa wanakufa because waliuliwa na mse. Most of the time. Even that other guy who used to sell cars, then he met a friend who told him that nitakufundisha vile una make money really fast. And he had a very successful car business. And he had to stop because he was told that if they could double money, they could go to Dubai sometimes, and they double people's money. And he was found dead in his house. So how can you really explain that? And this was somebody who was already successful even before this. He had a very successful car business. He was making millions. He was driving good, beautiful cars. He just wanted extra. So how comes the business that he was doing prior didn't kill him, but immediately got to this wash stuff? He just died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how would you explain it?
Yeah. Just the same thing I'm saying. These guys wanauliwa tu na wase.
They mess with the wrong people.
Yeah, they just mess because you can mess with people. But there's that day. Unaga mse unatisha, mse anakutisha, utaona then because unajua utaenda DCI, you'll pay. Then the DCI will know that mwenye analipa do ndio mwenye anasaviwa. You see. But there's that day you'll meet somebody who is mwenye DCI wanajua kukushinda. They'll even use the same DCI to kill you. To kill you. Or in situations when some people are so gangster. The people are so streetwise by the way. Hata angalia mambo ya DCI, they'll look for a way, they'll pay gunmen now, utakuwa kill. Some of them will even use your friends. Like in this case, I believe, I'm not accusing anybody, but there's a very, very high possibility that they use your friend to poison your drink, then you pass.
One Caliph Cairo once, after his story imekuwa viral, alisema, keep your circle small, because your friends you can put you in trouble, blah blah blah. Yani ali try to kuonyesha once you get rich, once you get money, keep your circle small, of which it makes sense, because we never know what if it's the friends that killed him, you know.
Yeah, but I don't think and whatever Cairo says, I don't think there's any time in your life you really need your circle to be big, even when you're not rich. Even if you're not rich, you don't need a big circle. It's less trouble by
yeah,
because majority of people are chaotic.
Yeah. Nice one. So we're going to the next story. Do let us know what you think in the comment sections. They're actually open for you guys. The next story ni story ya ni Dyana ama ni Dyana. Dyana Codes. Super member set it.
Hiyo
na AJ wa Brooklyn Boys. So this story, this was one of the most viral songs, by the way,
in
Kenya this year.
Sure.
Na imeperform vizuri sana on all digital platforms, and I believe she's made a lot of money from it. So from the word go, when she did the audio, they sat down with AJ, ni AJ ama ni AJ, with AJ, and AJ akakubali 10% revenue, which was actually on paper. Then she's been paying them hiyo 10%, lakini all of a sudden ni kama alikuja kaona
anaangalia 90% imebaki,
10% ya 1 million anakula 900 peke yake. You know.
Yeah.
So allegedly Brooklyn Boys management pulled down the video, saying that percentage is ni kidogo.
Wow. So they'd rather what you will lose.
Yeah, they'd rather what you will lose. And
atapata hiyo 10% sasa. Juu bring down si wote wanakosa kabisa.
I have the manager's number. I don't know kama atashika hii simu, but I'm just going to ask him nione opinion yake itakuwa gani, maybe if he has something to say. And I've not called him prior to this conversation, but I'm just going to see kama
atatuambia ukweli.
Yeah.
One for 1 shilling and 50 cents daily.
Before atujibu, maybe what are your thoughts on this?
Well, what are my thoughts? Wacha ajibu kwanza, I can't concentrate nikiwa nasikiza.
Where's concentrate na story?
Like siwezi focus on my point nikiwa nangojea.
Ukiwa unangoja yake. Okay. So ajashika. Maybe we can also try and call the hit maker herself, and we hear her side of story. We hear the full story from her, because sometimes I do believe that unaweza kuwa na half of the story probably yenye imepostiwa kwa mtandao.
Sure.
Maybe kuna vitu she left out.
Get from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, let's try and get it from the horse's mouth and just see if how is the story going on. Maybe have they also tried to sort it out, because it's a very interesting story, and it's something that I think it's the first time it's happening here in Kenya. We haven't had such issues.
An artist bring down another artist's song because I'm a change mind.
Hello, hii ni On Air with the presenter Ali, and of course niko na jamaa wangu nguvu
Just for Bravo aka Just Beast.
Yeah, and of course kila wakati tunazungumziaga story tofauti ambazo ziko kwenye mtandao, na leo tunaanza hii story na is this guy who people are saying that he was a 25-year-old billionaire for the first time nimesikia 25-year-old billionaire. Of course apart from Cairo, alisema pia yeye ni billionaire.
Okay.
So this guy
Yeah.
was a forex trader. Hiyo ndio kitu watu wanajua. That is in public domain. And anaitwa Deno Bright. He owned a Mercedes G-Wagon among other cars. I think he had an AMG pia. Alikuwa tuna gari nyingi. Nasikia pia alikuwa Kirinyaga University.
Kirinyaga University.
Yeah. So this guy, he died. Na kumekuwa na stories nyingi zenye zimekuwa zikitokea, but one very, I would say, a source that alikuwa nao has actually revealed a few details about his death, na nikaona maybe we can share this story.
Okay.
And you can give me your thoughts. So Deno Bright was actually alikuwa Mombasa among other guys. Allegedly alikuwa na kina Majesty. Majesty is also another young forex trader, I think 21, 22 hapo, who owns a G-Wagon by the way pia.
Okay.
Alafu Sammy Boy nasikia pia alikuwa huko. Alikuwa pia Sammy Boy owns an AMG. Pia kuna gari kubwa sana. Akona nini? Inaitwa nini hiyo gari? Alikuwa na Audi TT, which was, I think ilipata ajali like a month or two ago. Walikuwa na, they had pia other friends na some girls around. Walikuwa wanapiga sherehe Mombasa pale kwa beach. Then wakaanza kupiga shots over shots, Long Island, sijui nini. Hizo shots zote kijana akazima. So after amezima wakasema juu kijana amezima, acha tumpeleke akapumzike kwa room sasa apumzike. So wakaenda wao wakaendelea na sherehe. Then later on, after some hours, wakasema kijana si amelala sana, let's go and check on him. Now that's when they found out that the guy is not breathing. And so as people are saying, is the cause of death ni alcohol. Alikunywa pombe nyingi sana.
That's what people are saying. Oh, the friends that alikuwa na wao. Okay. Hiyo story yake kuna, it has so very many questions.
Yes.
Because first of all, kwani hao mabeshe zake walichukua how long to find out that he slept for too long? I would just you see, because how long is too long? Because mtu anaweza chill, let's say for instance,
amke the next day.
Yeah, amke the next day. How long was it long enough to find out? I wish angekuwa amekupatia hiyo detail, but truth be told, this is not the first guy tunasikia na kufa mysteriously. Somebody very young,
very rich.
In fact, this guy alitengeneza pesa within a year. It was like within 1 year and he was that rich. Like it was just 2020
last year
2023. And which is very questionable, making money that quick. And then they say it's Forex, right? Okay, what I'm saying, this is suspicious, and I'm saying these four things in that order is because this stuff is not the first time it's happening. There was this guy, I don't know if you remember this guy, was from KU. The guy who died, his story, it was like last year. This guy also made money really fast. He was 23 years old. He built the mama house, and he bought I think he also bought some Mercedes Benz. I think, yeah. You remember that guy? Na pia alipatikana tu ameuliwa.
Na alikuwa na mabeshte zake.
Yeah, pia alikuwa na mabeshte zake. Yeah. So I think this in a way, it's just a wake up call for many of us, because young people, when we want to make it really, really fast, you know, of course the social media shows us that we need to make it fast. We are late already, because when you see everybody, your age mate, anakani kama ame make it, or some people even much younger than you, people in 17-year-old, 18, they have so much money, they're driving the biggest of cars.
Yeah, you're like, I'm 21 and I'm still living in my mom's house.
You feel
na
you're too
kuna
late.
rafiki yako tu ako 19 ama ako 20 na shanunua Mercedes G-Wagon, uko like hey hata babangu ana G-Wagon.
Hata kuna mtu kwenu ashaikuwa nayo.
You know.
Yeah.
So there's some pressure, by the way, that comes with it.
Yes, and people succumb to it. Some people wanna succumb to that pressure, and it's a sad reality. And the guys just need to understand that these things when okay, number one, we usually know so well. Anybody who has lived this life round enough knows that there's no way you can get rich quick. Like
There's no way.
there's no other way.
There's just no way.
There's no way.
Trust me.
And when there is a way in Kenya, we know that when that way happens to exist, tunajuaga inaitoga wash. You see?
Okay.
So it's not a coincidence that this thing is happening, and I believe people don't like to say this, but these guys, most of them wanajitaga guys wa Forex, ni watu wa wash.
It's scammers.
They're just scammers.
Okay.
Yeah, they just scam guys. The likes of who? Of this your friend anaitwa aje? Mimi nitawaita tu hata kama ni best yako. The likes of
Kono unaogopa kusema.
No, I'm trying to remember the name. The Kenyan Prince guy.
Okay.
You know, you can the moment Kenyan Prince watu wanaona akona do. But now why this coincidence becomes so many until you can't help but believe is the fact that Kenyan Prince kuna many people wame come forward.
Wakasema
Amewascam.
Yeah.
Na yeye hajai kataa. In fact, yeye huambia to prove it. Fanya hadi in some places guest wa place anambia there's this time this lady alimpigia kutoka US asije alikuwa amemscam some money. Then I remember listening to the audios when they were talking. There's a place this alikuwa anambia do them atufanya chenye anaweza fanya. You see. So because maybe anafikiria wako na connections, and most of these guys that's what happened when you are in a weak system like ours, the police system, unapata that you can get away with any crime as long as you kuna money. So if you steal from enough people, ukuna enough money to keep you from jail, you understand? But you can do that, utakuwa successful within a short time, uta make that money, you'll steal from people, but there comes a day that you'll steal from the wrong person. You see, there just comes that day that you can outsmart everybody. They say that you can fool some people but you can't fool everybody all the time. They will get to that moment that you'll meet yule mtu mwenye uwezi mchezea na itakuramba vibaya sana. And that shows the kama these guys vile lives are. It's not a coincidence that these guys they get rich really quick
and they die
then they die really suddenly. You see? And if you ask me, I would not choose that. Of course there are other people who will choose kuishi a few years na enjoy rather than kuishi a long one and not enjoy. So that is it's just a sad reality, and I think this guy too he messed with the wrong guy. Alikula tu pesa ya mtu wrong.
Oh, for real? That's what you think?
That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Because okay, fine. Now, do people die by alcohol poisoning or something?
Yeah, I had done some research actually initially, and
so that we see if there really a possibility of that happening, which I highly doubt, because hey, watu wanakunywa pombe bana.
According to what I had actually asked is let me just check it.
Can somebody die of alcohol?
Of over drinking, sindio?
Alcohol overdose.
So inasema yes, someone can die from alcohol poisoning. Alcohol poisoning occurs when someone drinks alcohol faster than their liver can process it. This raises blood concentration and impairs the brain's ability to control basic life functions such as breathing, heart rate, and temperatures.
Okay, but and I guess na vile wase wanakunywaga unapaka msee anapiga mashots, it has to be really then a lot of alcohol.
Not even about alcohol. You see, like when you're drinking, sometimes I might drink so much alcohol in over 8 hours. But let's say nimekunywa mzinga mbili,
piga shot,
lakini I'm not taking it faster. Like I'm just taking it slowly over those 8 hours compared to mtu amekunywa mzinga moja in
Pige gulp the whole of it, then you take the next bottle.
yes, something of that
Ile
sort.
design,
So
yeah.
I think if it is what it looks like, if it is alcohol yenye ilimua, it looks like maybe they were alikuwa na take hizo shots faster or something.
Yeah. Okay, I will take that with a pinch of salt. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
But what's really making me doubt it so much are these coincidences.
It's the pattern.
It's the pattern. Like
Yes,
these guys, they get rich so fast, then suddenly they die, and their death is not usually explainable.
And maybe how would you explain the accidents that occur? Because tuliona Sammy Boy ampata accident, tuliona Kenyan Prince amepata accident,
sure.
tuliona nani mwingine. I think Kenyan Prince kwanza amepata accidents nyingi.
Yes.
How would you explain it?
Even this other guy anatoka States pia kuna time alikuwa anapata a lot of accidents.
For real?
Yeah, there was this time kwa skesi. This time when he was just ulikuwa mnaanza kumpatia kama my interviews. It is gari yake siji liumia siji wapi. Then I was like, what is wrong with these guys and their accidents?
And also there's another guy I had his story of who got an accident while he was with the girlfriend. Something of that sort. And he died actually. So, do you think it has something to do with maybe the adrenaline that comes with, getting money at a young age? You just want a fast-paced life. I don't know.
And then that kills them. If that could be the case, then the people could be dying the most in this world could be these social media stars, the likes of Ninja, or the likes of Mr. Beast, or athletes, because these are the guys who make so much money at a very young age.
But you see, they have access to things like an accountant, personal accountant.
You can't assume that. Can you assume that these other guys are accountants? These guys, our Kenyan guys who.
Sidhani wako nao. Okay, what would your explanation be?
I don't believe that it got anything to do with somebody getting money when they're really young, because even when you look at them, most of them, if it could be like a suicide, you could say that they get money really young, or accidents. Let's say amekufa kwa accident, but the ones that end up dying, inakuwa wanakufa because waliuliwa na msee. Most of the time. Even that other guy who used to sell cars, then he met a friend who told him that nitakufundisha vile una make money really fast. And he had a very successful car business. And he had to stop because he was told that they could double money. They could go to Dubai sometimes and they double people's money. And he was found dead in his house. So how can you really explain that? And this was somebody who was already successful even before this. He had a very successful car business. He was making millions. He was driving good, beautiful cars. He just wanted extra. So how comes the business that he was doing prior didn't kill him, but immediately got to this wash stuff? He just died.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how would you explain it?
Yeah. Just the same thing I'm saying. These guys wanauliwa tu na wase.
They mess with the wrong people.
Yeah, they just mess because you can mess with people. But there's that day. Unaga mse unatisha, mse anakutisha, utaona then because unajua utaenda DCI, you'll pay. Then the DCI will know that mwenye analipa do ndio mwenye anasaviwa. You see. But there's that day you'll meet somebody who is mwenye DCI wanajua kukushinda. They'll even use the same DCI to kill you. To kill you. Or in situations when some people are so gangster. The people are so streetwise by the way. Atangalia mambo ya DCI, they'll look for a way, they'll pay gunmen now, utakuwa kill. Some of them will even use your friends. Like in this case, I believe, I'm not accusing anybody, but there's a very, very high possibility that they use your friend to poison your drink, then you pass.
One Caliph Cairo once, after his story imekuwa viral, alisema, keep your circle small, because your friends you can put you in trouble, blah blah blah. Yani ali try to kuonyesha once you get rich, once you get money, keep your circle small, of which it makes sense, because we never know what if it's the friends that killed him,
Yeah, but I don't think and whatever Cairo says, I don't think there's any time in your life you really need your circle to be big, even when you're not rich. Even if you're not rich, you don't need a big circle. It's less trouble,
yeah,
because majority of people are chaotic.
Yeah. Nice one. So we're going to the next story. Do let us know what you think in the comment sections. They're actually open for you guys. The next story ni story ya ni Dyana ama ni Dyana. Dyana Coates. Super member set it.
Hiyo
na AJ wa Brooklyn Boys. So this story, this was one of the most viral songs, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
In
This year.
Kenya this year.
Sure.
Na imeperform vizuri sana on all digital platforms, and I believe she's made a lot of money from it. So from the word go, when she did the audio, they sat down with AJ, ni AJ ama ni AJ, with AJ, and AJ akakubali 10% revenue, which was actually on paper. Then she's been paying them hiyo 10%, lakini all of a sudden ni kama alikuja akaona hey
anaangalia 90% imebaki.
Hey, 10% ya 1 million yee, anakula 900 peke yake. You know.
Yeah.
So allegedly Brooklyn Boys management pulled down the video, saying that percentage is ni kidogo.
Wow. So they'd rather wote wa lose.
Yeah, they'd rather wote wa lose. And
Pata hiyo 10% sasa. Juu bring down si wote wanakosa kabisa.
I have the manager's number. I don't know kama atashika hii simu, but I'm just going to ask him nione opinion yake itakuwa gani, maybe if he has something to say. And I have not called him prior to this conversation, but I'm just going to see
kama atatuambia ukweli.
Yeah.
1 for 1 shilling and 50 cents daily.
Before atujibu, maybe what are your thoughts on this?
What are my thoughts? Wacha ajibu kwanza, I can't concentrate nikiwa nasikiza na
ngojea hiyo concentrate na story.
Yeah. Like siwezi focus on my point nikiwa na ngojea.
Ukiwa na ngoja yake.
Yeah.
Okay. So ajashika. Maybe we can also try and call the hit maker herself, and we hear her side of story.
Yeah.
We hear the full story from her, because sometimes I do believe that unaweza kuwa na half of the story probably yenye imepostiwa kwa mtandao.
Sure.
Maybe kuna vitu she left out.
Get from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, let's try and get it from the horse's mouth and just see if how is the story going on. Maybe have they also tried to sort it out, because it's a very interesting story, and it's something that I think it's the first time it's happening here in Kenya. We haven't had such issues.
An artist bring down another artist's song because I'm a change mind.
Hello. Hey, niaje?
Poa sana, labda.
Ni presenter Alia.
Hi.
Nakuulizaje? So I'm doing my show. And I'm trying to follow up on history yako na AJ. Do you have a minute?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what exactly happened?
So they niliamka nikapata whatever. Okay, what happened is after so now what happened is the AJ was signed to a distribution company called 1 RPM.
Yeah.
So what happened is that distribution. Let me call you in a few. Kuna mtu anani.
Anakudistract.
Yeah, acha nikucall.
Okay, sir. Okay. So, what I'm thinking is, I might be wrong, but artists do change distribution. For example, mimi naweza kuwa na distributiwa na ngoma, then na change na naanza kudistributiwa na 1 RPM, ama na change naanza kudistributiwa na Sony. Maybe he changed that and then ikaleta shida. I don't know. But
najua tu.
Ares.
Yes.
Niaje?
Fiti.
Unaongea na presenter Ali?
Niaje?
Poa sana G. Nakuuliza?
Yes sir.
So there's this story yenye I'm doing it on my show. Nilikuwa nataka kuifuatilia nijue imefika wapi, ama if a solution has been found. History ya AJ na Dyana.
So far, iko ndio tunaangalia story na lawyer na nini, so tumeambiwa kwanza tusitaje watu. Mpaka tumalize. So ndo hata nimemwambia
Lazima tupate details.
finalize
Oh.
story tujue nini ndo in case of nini mtu asikuje kusema nini defamation tena hapo mbele kwa mbele.
Oh. Ni vile nilikuwa nimeona. Okay, story yenye whatever is in public domain ni the fact that walikuwa wamekubali 10% already.
Yes, exactly.
And then wakakuja wakageuka.
Yes.
Oh, na so umesema sahi iko na lawyer.
Ni story tumeinvolve lawyer, so lawyer alituambia kwanza tungoje tuone trajectory ya hiyo story so far, lakini iko tusha solve kila kitu. Ile tu unajua kitaja jina ya mtu inaweza leta shida hapo.
Yeah, true.
So ndo maana nimeongea hata kama ni kuongea sitaji jina ya mtu, let it be just a certain iko ya certain company.
Okay.
Aseme jina ya kampuni.
Yeah, nimeget. Okay, so maybe when you say that you're almost sorting it, does it mean kwamba you guys have won?
Tuseme tu unajua sasa si yeye ataona hiyo rights, master hizo rights hiyo ngoma ni mimi naona.
Okay, ni wewe unaona.
So mimi ndo niliafu kukaa chini na hao. Unajua sasa yeye alikasirika tu kwa sababu yeye ni ngoma yake tu kama msanii. Naona lakini master ndio naona.
Yes.
So mimi ndo niliafu iko lawyer wangu. Na akafuatilia story, akatumia demand letter na kila kitu. Wakaget back wakaniambia nini let's just we return it.
Okay.
Tatu.
Yeah.
Kasort now ndo nangojea sasa hiyo nini ndo leo ndo tulikuwa tupatiwe sasa final kila kitu.
So does it mean that when they pulled it down walitoa kwa digital platforms zote?
Hapana. Hapana.
Walitoa YouTube peke yake.
Hawako hata wajui nini wanatu. So they were supposed to do that ilikuwa iende kwa ni audio ndo inaflagiwa, but hawa wakaona wa flag the video which is it makes sense. Wange flag the audio kwa digital platforms zote. Hivyo ndo ilikuwa inafaa kukua, so wali flag the wrong nini, na that's why tulikuwa tumia demand letter. Okay,
curious to know. Watu wanasema hii ngoma ati maybe haikuwa imemake dough because pia the audio was ilikuwa sampled.
Not really. Si hivyo inawakigi. Unajua kusample ina depend una sample yake. Kuna kusample ya kukata na kuna kusample ya kureplay.
Okay.
It's just like when Sauti Sol walifanya ile ngoma yao ilipokuwa Primo, hiyo ni but it was replayed. They didn't take this, hawakuikata from somewhere.
Hawaku copy paste.
You just play it again, like you have to get kama ni guitarist, kama ni nini, you have to play it again.
Okay.
So hizo inakwanga hiyo copyright is sort of nini inakwanga different.
I get it. Nice one.
So hiyo story si story na nini sample yenyewe hapana.
Yeah.
It was just a disagreement na hata ni misunderstanding, si disagreement.
Misunderstanding. Okay, just quick one last question na sijui kama you'll be free to say this. I'm going to mention an amount and then the only thing that you'll say it is higher or lower in regards to pesa mmeweza kwa hii ngoma imemake, because it's a very big song right now imefika 5 million.
Not. And then one thing people don't know, for kama different distributors they have different policies za release do. So unaweza pata maybe yako inaweza kuwa ina release in 1 month,
ingine 3 months.
You get like, so the ones yenye mimi natumia ku distribute ina take 3 months. So it will hata tu bado hatujaona trajectory hizo ni bado ndo tunangoja kuona after 3 months ndio nijue.
Hata mjaonja hiyo do.
Mimi especially mimi sasa. The one of the master ndo maana mimi nilisema mimi nimekaa tu naangalia watu wanafight na shanga wanafightia nini. Juu mimi mwenyewe sijaona hata shilingi so far. Unajua wao wamepata mashow, wamefanya kila kitu. So that's why.
I understand. Thank you so much for the feedback. I really needed it for the show. I think pia watu wote watawatch wata understand what is happening. Arrest tutaongeaje?
Shukrani.
Okay, sawa. So that is Ares, who was the producer of the song and also the owner of the master. You know, ukifanya muziki, what people really don't know is that unaweza kuja ni kuproduce. This is my artwork. Ini artwork yangu. So producers ndo huwa wana own. That is why in every song, most producers or all producers do get lifetime royalties because of
produce the song.
Yeah. I produce from scratch, something of that sort. So what is your take on it?
What is my take on it? I think
do you think AJ was being petty by doing that? Do you think maybe alikuwa na right 10% bana ni kidogo?
Inakuwa difficult because hatujasikia side ya nani? Ya AJ. Because this is just one side of the story. Because inaweza ukiangalia story from the one side it will look like AJ ni mtu pete. Hata maybe unaweza pata hata labda alijaribu kuwafuatilia, he tried to talk to them, maybe to fix whatever it is ilikuwa inamsumbua. But maybe this, you know, sometimes when you have an issue with somebody, how the person you have an issue with is going to handle it when you raise the issue really matters.
Yes.
Can find maybe atali raise the issue whatever it is ilikuwa inamsumbua, then ikakuwa ignored, then akuwa na hasira or maybe umejibiwa vibaya because pia dealing with ladies sometimes unaweza pata labda hiyo siku dem alikuwa tu na moods unamwambia hivi na hivi, then but I'm just thinking,
but then also what I'm thinking is kama ulikuwa accept 10%, why do you have to come and change it later?
If that's the case, if that's really the case,
because
then
there was screenshots actually where he was accepting the 10%.
Okay.
Where he was even sending the email ya connect. Unajua normally if you're connecting ukienda ku set royalties venye zinako connected, I think one of these days tutaleta mtu anaelewa music business atuanaelezea vitu kaizo. Kuna venye unapeana email yako iconnectiwe ndio sasa huko unaweza access uone royalties umemake, things of that sort. But then it's a story, then it's a developing story. Umesikia iko kwa lawyers sai. We will see tuone venye maybe how we will get how it will go.
And maybe peer projects wasa wakifanya projects, when you are starting a project,
look for long term. Look
for long term, because sometimes you can be setting, most things have very small beginnings, you understand? So maybe you're starting a company with your friend or somebody you know because you are in good terms at that time.
Ambia mimi si lazima uniweke. Tumia tu idea yangu.
Then now inaanza kuleta millions. Unaanza ku notice hata sasa umeshita imata sasa.
Maybe when they did the collab they were like uni msanii mdogo haitaleta do,
hata kileta
10%, tumsaidie hiyo nyingine ya kule yote. Unajua kumbe. On the next story inakuwa ni Stephen Kasolo. He's been actually hitting headlines since
since he stole the phone.
And I think today we're going to be hearing everything
from the horse's mouth.
And see Kasolo. My brother.
Hey daddy, sasa.
Poa sana, nimekupigia, umekuwa busy?
Nilikuwa live TikTok.
Oh, sorry about that. You have a minute?
Yeah, we can talk.
Yeah, so I'm doing nafanya show yangu. Nilikuwa nataka kuuliza tu swali. There's this story ya simu. Yenye nimeona umefanya interviews. And people are saying that maybe Kasolo may overreact, Obina was just joking. What do you have to say about that?
You see, I have a brand, my brother. Niko na brand ya kuprotect.
Yes.
Na hakuna mtu hawezi react ukisema kitu negative. Hakuna mtu anatamani kusema negative. Ndio sababu ya brand.
Yes.
Na sababu ya zile kampuni nafanya nazo, na pia sababu ya mtoto wangu. Unajua mtoto wangu atajua kama ni joke na ako social media.
That's true.
Yes, wewe sema leo niseme wewe ni Ali ni muaji ama Ali ni, yani nikuseme kwa nini usiniseme kwa uzuri? Kwa nini usiseme Kasolo kwa hiyo show ya Bolo ali kill the show? Why don't you speak kwa nini usijoke na positivity?
Kweli.
Yeah, I didn't react, siku overreact, nilifanya kureact sababu iliongelewa. Alafu kampani wanachukua vitu serious sana. Hawana hiyo mentality ya kujua it was a joke.
Hawajui vipindi.
Hawajui hizo vitu za Nairobi.
Yeah.
Na siku social media iko kila mahali. My grandmother ako paka na simu anaekewa. So akiona vitu kama hizo zinamuaffect negatively.
Yeah.
Obina is my friend.
Yeah.
Hata Bahati alinipigia tukaongea, akaniambia this is a joke, let's not. Hata Bahati alikuwa ameniambia twende to record video to solve issue, but sababu nikakosa nafasi. So siko overreact my brother. I have a right to feel vibaya wakati brand yangu inaenda chini.
Kweli. Na
nikizungumzia
maybe did you get a chance to speak to Obina?
We did a chat. Tulichat kidogo, akanitumia mpaka hiyo video yenye ali correct.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with him. He's my brother. I wish him well, but next time kuna jokes za kujokia.
Yes, true.
Kitu kama hiyo inaweza destroy mse.
Yeah. And maybe your brands, kuna brand yoyote ili react yenye inakufanyia kazi? Yeah.
Kuna watu tunafanya kazi nao kama Ngumbao TV, unajua boss wangu alinipigia akaniambia hii kitu ni kitu mbaya. Mashabiki nikiwa live wanapiga simu anasema Kasolo we are affected, kusikia watu wanakuharibia jina. Haya, maybe kuna mtu alikuwa anataka kukuitia birthday ama event. Unajua pia atafeel kwamba nitahitaji mtu ambaye anasema na wizi.
Yes.
So it affected me in a way. Lakini unajua watu wengi walijua ni uongo, maana watu wengi wametumia jina yangu, wameharibu jina yangu.
Okay.
Kwa kujinufai.
Yeah, that's true. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for the feedback. We just wanted to know your issue imefika wapi. It's I'm glad kujua it's already solved between you and Obina na pia and the Bahatis, because nakumbuka ulisema kuna time ulisema Bahati alikuwa hata simu ashiki.
Hakuwa anashika, but hata yeye aliona iko serious akanipigia. Akaniambia ako sorry sana.
Okay, sawa. Thank you so much Stephen.
God bless you sir.
Asante. So, umesikia from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, horse mwenyewe.
Amesema the story was solved. Walichat na Obina, aliongea na Bahati. Na story iko sawa. He was just protecting his name, which I think it's normal. Ukifika mahali usikie ati
brand yako inaanza kuchomeka, kwanza kuwa associated na vitu kama wizi. Yeah, and I mean there's a point he's made that makes a lot of sense. If you're joking, why not joke about good things? You know, why not joke about vitu nzuri? No, good stuff is quite funny. So, you can't joke about good stuff. It's never fun. Okay, tell me something. Niambie kitu nzuri about me alafu tucheke.
Unajua unaona kama tukiongelea story ya Deno Bright, unajua hata wewe uko jiwago uchunge. You see?
That's a nice joke.
Like okay, I don't mean anything no baya kwa story ya Deno. Of course it's very sad. But unajua
hata kwa matanga watu ucheka. Hata kwa matanga watu ucheka.
Watu piga pia story hata wanaongelea mtu alideni. Vibaya sana.
Vitu funny zenye alifanya mnaongelea hadi mnacheka. So
but there kuna story.
So ako na right by there.
Ako na right ya
ile tu ana right ya kujam. Kama alikuwa anajua ni joke, why mbona ujam? Ako na anaongea kama story ilisha, lakini sound ni kama ilisha. Unajua niko na brands, yani vile the tone is still offended.
Yes.
Yeah, but ni life. Yeah.
The next story is a very interesting story. Ni story ya Warren and Whitney. Warren is 21 years and
yes.
Whitney is 19.
Yes.
I think Whitney was still in campus when they met. Na bado akapata mtoi. Around 3-4 months now.
Yeah.
Kuna mtoi mdogo sana. So maybe you can tell us the story. Do you have the insights ama ni ongelea kidogo?
Ongelea kidogo.
Yeah. So story ni we have kuna videos zimekuwa zikitrend pale Telegram za uchi.
Za uchi wa mnyama yani.
Za uchi za Warren.
Watu wanafanyana mambo live kwenye kamera.
So he was actually killing the monkey.
Yeah.
Live
on camera.
He was strangling the monkey. Then
was it even no, they were doing it with
that's the first. I'm talking about
that first video. Yeah.
The first video. Now the second video
people are doing things.
The second video he was not killing the monkey. He was killing the cat.
Using the monkey. Wow. Oh, this is a funny family show. Okay.
using the monkey.
Yeah.
So
wow.
Now there was a lady who allegedly people were saying was Whitney. Sawa. Whitney is the wife, Warren is the husband.
Yes.
So according to Whitney, that was not her.
Yes.
And that story has really affected her because of the fact that they have to go live every day, because of the fact that they have a baby and later on she'll grow. So Warren found Whitney sending voiceovers to her best friend, telling her that, that video, that's not her. That's the first thing.
Yes, and I deny.
That story has affected her. She feels like she's messed her life forever. Yeah. She feels like she doesn't know what to do. And right now, as we speak, the two have unfollowed each other, and it is alleged that they have broken up. When they started dating, watu walikuwa nawaambia, you guys are still young. Msiharakishe maisha.
Walianza kudate wakiwa the guy was 21 or 20.
Was 20, I think.
Yeah.
The girl was 18. So watu wakawambia, ni mapema nini? Wakawambia tulieni, tuonyeshe, si tunapendana. They went ahead, wakapata mtoto. And right now it looks like things have gone south. Yeah. Maybe unaweza ukazungumzia aje hii story? Do you think when Warren is actually the one who shared this hizo voiceovers.
Yeah, hizo akiambia beshte zake vile is even rethinking the relationship.
No, Warren is the guy.
Yes.
Whitney is the lady.
And I'm saying like when she was like, is the audios you're talking about are for the lady?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm asking you like the audios are talking about.
Is it a voiceover?
Yeah.
Voiceover. I mean, not a voiceover.
The
voice notes za WhatsApp.
Yes.
Then mwenye alizishare.
Yeah.
Kwa the public now is
the
Warren.
guy. Yeah,
the guy.
Yeah.
Do you think he had a right to share them? Like no. I don't get the point of him sharing.
I think that goes
because
back to
yeye ndo akona makosa.
Maybe anaconfirmia watu hiyo immaturity yao that wako young. It's a because that's an immature move to post, especially hata nini any conversation, anybody's conversation, especially mtu wako hata kama mmeachana, it's immature to share in the public because anytime when I have a conversation with you, it's a private conversation, right?
Yes.
When you put it outside there, that is like you're putting my thoughts. You never know. Whatever I was telling you was something I could in that conversation. You don't know what it is that I'm ready to share with other people.
Yes.
Maybe I'm just ready to confide with you.
Yes.
So it's not right. I don't believe it's never right to share anybody's stuff online. But that one just confirms you too. These guys were just immature. Not immature in what way? Because we have seen people who start relationship when they're young and as in a work.
Yeah.
But immature in that the decisions they were making, these guys were not even ready for kids. You see, I didn't believe that they were ready because these are guys who are just the moment bado kukole, you still have a long way to go.
Yeah.
Especially as far as career is concerned. Kuna a lot of course that those people get lucky and they make it really really fast. But the majority, like the 80%, the 90%, takes so long. And it takes so much for you to get to a place where you'll make it, even financially, that is.
Yeah.
And especially for the man, because ladies, you can get lucky, get married by somebody who's rich and your life changes. Mwanaume huwezi tegemea hiyo, that you'll be natafuta tu jamaa mwanamke fulani rich anioe, ni muoe or something. So when I think when people say that they were young and they decided even to have a baby, why I'm thinking that was a mess is the fact that when you're trying to make it at a certain age, especially when you're young, what happens is that there's so much that is involved for you even to make it. Dynamics are so many, including you need to travel sometimes. Like right now, if you're called somewhere for a job, and if I'm called somewhere for a job,
it's easier for you.
It's easier for me because I have no kids to think about. But for you, you'll have to think, will that place be a place good enough to bring up a kid? You see, is it an environment that is close to school? Is my wife ready to move to that place? Will it support my wife? Like it takes so much that these are, and when you're young, you need all these as many opportunities as possible. You know, because the more successful you become, the easier it is for you to say no to opportunities. Sometimes you'll be like, I can't do this, I can't do this. But when you're really young, when you're just getting started, it's always an advantage to get your hands with as many things as possible because you don't know which one is going to work.
Sure.
You see, just throwing many balls on the wall because you don't know which one will stick. Sometimes, we see these stories all the time. A good example is me and you. You find that you studied this, but you're doing exactly something different from wherever you studied.
Yeah.
Because you can, and all those things, though, because, okay, let me come back and let me get not ahead of myself. So all those things, that you're able to do them easier when you don't have like a family.
Yes.
You see, when you don't have so much responsibility that could limit you from doing them. So I think that was a very big misstep, and I think it get to a place where it becomes pressure. Unaanza to feel like these kids, they start noticing that having this kid has made me now not being able to follow some things, has made me not even be able to discover myself, because you need to make some mistakes for you to even know who you are at that age.
Yeah.
But you find that ushaanza kuwa mom when you're young, it stops you even from going out, maybe go to the clubs. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but you need to go to clubs sometimes for you to find out that it's not something you like. Like personally, I don't club. And how did I come to know that I don't like clubbing? It's by going to clubs.
Because
and
I took you to a club. And you notice you don't like
it's not something that makes me happy. You see?
Yes.
But now when you might not, you might think you like clubbing. When you have a kid and you're not able to go to club because your kid is stopping you from that, you can live a very frustrated life thinking that you're missing out because you never tried. Then
thinking even your child, you might even end up hating your child.
Hating your child, yeah. Kama it's a limit.
It's a burden.
It's a burden, yeah. So always these relationships zinaanza, especially the social media, umepata pesa kidogo ya TikTok, it makes you think that you are successful, and then you start having kids and starting relationships. It's not fair for the child.
Watu wajipange
too. And having money is not the only thing you need for you to have a kid.
Yes.
It's not the only thing you need to start a relationship.
Mentally okay.
Exactly.
You need to be financially okay.
Yeah.
You also need to be mature enough.
Yeah, you need to be in a situation where you've even discovered your process of self-discovery has got to a point where you know yourself. Because, bro, to be honest, there are just some people who can't handle relationships. There's some people when ukikuwa na relationship itakuwa tu ni hell. But you can't know that before you even discover yourself.
Yeah, you have to have even stayed for long in that relationship to actually know that I want to have a kid with this person.
Yeah.
Because you see, when you're having a kid with a lady, this ini jela ya forever.
Yeah, sure.
Let me just use the word jela.
Jela, in a way,
for the lack
jela.
of a long
Yeah,
time. Because of this
jela.
thing,
Yeah.
This is going to be the mother of your kid. And that will never change.
For sure.
Like hautaipata mtoto mama mwingine.
Yeah, anaweza acha kuwa dem yako, but ataendelea
anaweza acha kuwa wife yako. But atakuwa mama wa huyo mtoi. So tabia zake, spirituality, everything she's going to pass it to your baby.
Yes. In one form or another.
Or your babies.
And you're also going to receive it in extension.
Yes.
Yeah. You'll have to receive some bullshit from her, because you'll have to go and see your kid.
Yes.
Sometimes you'll receive some drama from her.
So there's a lot that comes with you just deciding to settle with somebody and start a family. Settle with somebody. You just don't settle with any Instagram model just because she has nyash.
And the sex is good between the two of you. My friend, you'll get 80 years old na hata mtakuwa mnakutana kwa hiyo nyumba. Mmechokana. Yeah, you guys, for real.
Yes.
Sometimes you get in these relationships with superficial reasons. Yes. Because mtu anakaa vizuri, the boobs are here, and
she has good nyash. She has light skin, dark skin.
Yeah, she gives you good head. It could be anything.
Yes.
But imagine these things are just enjoyable when there's this rapport between the two of you.
Yes.
There gets a point where this person has frustrated you so much that they can't even make you hard if you're a man.
And you see, there are things that we see and they're like, people will say, akona msichana mrembo. Si huyu jamaa anafurahi. Hey,
una idea.
This guy, when you sit down with this guy, he will tell you, atakwambia mashetani yote ya msichana.
Atakwambia utashangaa.
Actually, some statistics say that men with the most beautiful women are the most depressed men in relationships.
Okay.
In relationships.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
You find that the looks might not be as good as the behavior.
Yeah, sure, for sure.
The behavior, and tukiwa wadogo, I remember there's something that people used to say. Don't go for the looks, go for the tabia.
Mwanamke si urembo ni tabia.
And we used to say like, tabia tutabadilisha.
We used to say that mimi ni kwenda kitu sura mbaya. Tujia tabia acha ikae, tutamwombea.
Later on in life, I came to realize there's no human being who's ugly in this way, I'm going to defend my point because nataka kuniambia tu
kuna sura zingine personal by
but
smart joke
personally mimi when I was in campus, I used to interact with a lady who maybe I was not attracted to her sexually at first. Maybe a lady just comes and mmejipata tu mko class, mnasoma class moja ama course moja ama unit moja, and then a conversation just sparks, and then you start liking the way she's thinking. You start liking the way she
handles other human beings around you.
Yes, you start liking the way she thinks about other people. Unakana yeye
aduna sahau sura.
You understand?
No.
Si tunaisahau.
In a way, you overlook it. Like when I say unasahau, as in you look at her, but you don't see that face. Yeah.
Sometimes you're
seeing beyond that now.
Sometimes you want to meet her, uongee na yeye because it makes you feel good.
Sure.
And in a way, she just starts being attractive.
Perfect.
Sijui kama ina make sense.
100%.
And then utaona msichana mwingine tu ni mrembo
until you talk to her.
Akifungua tu mdomo yake
unasikia tu unaona tu amekuwa sura mbaya once. Unaona tu sura imechange once.
Anakukasirisha. Uko like, what a waste of beauty.
Yeah. I had such a neighbor. Yeah, for sure. I had such a neighbor. I've had such a neighbor.
There's nothing as disappointing as that.
Yeah.
And if you're beautiful, and if you know or you believe you are really beautiful, please work on your communication skills. Yeah. Work on your behaviors. Work on your IQ.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing as irritating as just seeing a beautiful woman, lakini kwa akili hakuna kitu.
In fact,
anafikiria tu na hiyo nyashi yake.
Nyashi akikuona tu nini like you find that akipiga okay, that will be too personal, but anyway. What I wanted to say is it's very true, by the way. And when you're looking so good, you believe that physically you look good, especially for ladies, even men. They are that beauty, that physical beauty. The physical beauty is only going to be attractive because you could be good looking. There's a difference between being good looking and attractive.
Yes.
Being good looking is how you look. Being attractive is how you make people want to be close to you.
Yes. Yeah.
So the lady you are talking about was a lady that was not good looking, but she was a very attractive.
Yes.
Like when you're around them, you just can't want to.
There's
live.
some aura.
Yeah, that they just release that is just so addictive.
Yeah.
So when you are that physically beautiful, let's say physical beauty can be anything. Can be sexually, you look sexually nice. That is
physique.
Nice boobs and nice small waist. And nice hips and a beautiful face.
Yes.
That one can only take you so far. I mean, that one can only attract the guys that you don't like. Like, it's going to attract guys, but guys who are
just sexually attracted.
Guys who are very superficial.
Okay.
In fact, the guys you want to be like the guys you seriously want. You cannot fool them with physical beauty. They get
thank you.
You can never fool them with physical beauty.
That's a very good point. I mean, I've seen very beautiful ladies who I wouldn't even want to engage in a conversation with. I've seen very beautiful ladies who I wouldn't even want to be mentioned with. I've seen very beautiful ladies who I wouldn't even want to be associated with in any way. But I've seen, just
an average looking
lady, and
but she's like, this one. If I find this one,
if I catch you. Anyway. I think the point is home.
Yeah, the point is
the kids were just immature.
They're just immature. They're just learning their lessons, and maybe they're just learning them. They had to now. It's sad that now she'll have to learn it as a single mom now.
But the good thing is, one thing I'm really loving about young couples nowadays is the fact that kulikuwa na hii notion ya ndoa ni kuvumilia, weka hapo hata kama unachapwa, even if you're being cheated on, even if all these things. There's a time that was the trend. But what I'm loving about couples nowadays is that they're realizing their mistakes early, and it's very good, by the way, to realize your mistake
The
early.
earlier the better.
Yeah, the earlier the better.
Because a mistake, if you don't learn from it, to repeat itself over and over.
Yes, they're realizing and they're just quitting the relationship. They're just like, this is not something that I want. Yes, I made the mistake to be in this relationship, but I'm not going to make another mistake to stay in the relationship.
Yeah, because we used to have especially dads, bro, we used to have very miserable dads.
Yes.
It was very rare to have miserable moms, because moms, I don't know why moms in a way knew how to express themselves. This is something that is debatable, but I think that moms alikuwa kipigwa, for instance, neighbors wangeingilia sometimes, but guys issues, especially kama the guy is being abused emotionally. Mazema guys walikuwa, I used to see some of my friends' dads. Ukiingia kwa nyumba, you can just see this guy is so miserable. Because the mom is control.
He's always sad, he's always drunk.
Yeah, he's always drunk.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, and vile tu umesema, all those things, if you get to a place you're noticing this person is just not serving me. So talk it.
Just live.
Just live.
Just live. True.
It's okay to regret eti ulimwacha akakuwa better, rather than regretting later on in future that I wish ninge left. Like this way, sometimes people fear leaving because whatever ki change akuwe something great. You see, nitakuwa nimeacha mtu wa maana. Let's say a lady unataka kuacha mse because maybe ana do, ana hustle, then you're like, ananipiga na ana do. Sasa what's the meaning? Nikimwacha maybe anaweza change, a reform, apate do. You get? That's a regret. That's a possibility. That's a chance you can take. But it's something that at least you can change right now.
Yes.
What if, look at this way, you wait for that long that they never change.
Yeah.
But now you get to a place now you can't change it anymore because now it's too late.
Yes.
You understand?
True.
So sometimes it's not a chance you want to take, especially a chance to do with somebody you're spending with the rest of your life.
Yes.
Hapo kuna accept mistakes. No mistakes.
Compromise ikuwe tu chini sana. Usicompromise tu kila kitu. You know? Yeah.
For sure.
Let's go to the next story. So on the next story, we have KRG the Don. KRG the Don tumemjua Buga for a while. He's been doing great. Ametoa ngoma kama mambo imechemka. Ametoa slogans pia kama mambo imechemka, miaka 650. Okay, everyone knows KRG the Don at this point. Hata kama mjui ngoma yake, because there's a point watu walianza kusema hatujui ngoma zake nini.
But at least na zile ma interviews mlikuwa mnamfanyaga anajulikana.
KRG is well known. I think amejenga brand yake vizuri. He's even worked with brands. Amepiga mbwembwe online. Ako Showmax.
Kwanza kwa mbwembwe anajulikana. Ako Showmax.
Amekuwa na show, reality show pale Showmax.
Yeye na watoto wake ama?
Rich. Is it Rich Women in Nairobi ama?
Okay.
Ama yes. Nairobi Rich.
Yes, jawana.
Something of that sort. Nairobi Rich whatever. Ninaongelea tu watu rich wa Nairobi.
Okay.
So he said the other day that watu wamekuwa kimuuliza, ideally watu wamekuwa kimuuliza, KRG ulienda wapi, umepotea, hatukuoni sana siku hizi nini. So he said he's retiring from entertainment. He just wants to focus
on what?
On his life, and is soon getting to politics. He'll be vying for a political seat in 2027.
Okay. Kila mtu anaenda hiyo njia. Everybody wants to be a politician.
It's the roof that I hate for me, that Kenyans just placed on their head. I'm above their head. You see, and I've had this conversation with many people. For example, I do believe someone like Jalas would have been great. He would even have broken the East African boundaries to becoming one of the biggest interviewers probably in Africa. To the likes of Trevor Noah, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Afike mahali kama hapo. Tuone Jalas akiinterview kina 50 Cent. Tuone Jalas akiinterview kina Justin Bieber, kina Chris Brown, kina Jay-Z, kina P. Diddy.
Yeah, kina P. Diddy huko ndani.
Unajua?
Kina R. Kelly.
And when he was so big at the peak of his career, he looked around and said, no one has ever done what I have done. Now I'm retiring to politics.
Akaona amefika peak.
Yes.
Right now Bina anafanya chenye alikuwa anafanya.
Yes. And I might not even be surprised nikiona anafanya the same thing, amefika mahali pia yeye anataka kuingia kwa politics.
Na ni Obina. Nani obvious ataingia. But anyway, let's go back to story. Hiyo ni story for another day.
That really hurt me as someone who knows, who could see potential ya Jalas. Yeah. And I'm just saying this in relation to story ya KRG. Another example would be Bahati. Bahati was really big. Alikuja akatoa hit songs, ngoma zinapendwa, akasukuma brand yake vizuri, akafika mahali, and then he felt like, what is the next thing that I can do? Akaona ni politics. So what I'm saying
Hussein Mohammed same.
Muhammad Ali same. Like when people are at their peak of their careers, wanajekea karuf. And I don't know, maybe it's the fact that it's so scary to try to break the Kenyan barrier to going international. I don't know. Or maybe it needs a lot of muscle. I don't know. But it's a sad state to see many people. You see, for example, Larry also had that option.
For sure.
Alikuwa amefanya show kubwa sana. The Trend was the biggest show.
It was the biggest show in Kenya at that time.
Angeamua, me, I'm so big, let me get to politics. You see. But he decided to follow his dream. Na Sai is doing very well in the international media, being a CNN respondent with one of very big show in Itwa, African Voices, which is a very one of the most watched shows here, Pale CNN. So just the contrast shows you how you limiting yourself can actually do to you. It does more damage than good. For example, if in 2027 Jalas atakuwa voted in, he will be depending on nominations.
For sure.
If in 2027 KRG atapata hiyo kura, he will be depending on a nomination. But if Larry Madowo is fired today or decides to quit CNN, he can still go to BBC, he can still go to Al Jazeera, he can still start his own.
If he comes to Kenya right now and starts a new show, it will hit. It will be an instant hit. Because of the brand is built.
You have because of the fact that you decided to follow your dreams, you have many options. But because of the fact that you decided, Muhammad Ali, political career yake, in fact, it's actually fluctuating right now.
It's on a downward spiral. Right now.
So it shows you, and there's no Swahili journalist who has ever been as big as Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, for sure.
I stand to be corrected. And he could have done the investigations for CNN, for Al Jazeera, for BBC. There's BBC Swahili, right?
Yes.
Angewafanyia vitu kama hizo, right now he would be a very big international brand, and he would even probably be earning more than he's earning right now.
If it's about money.
If it's about money.
For sure.
Apart from hizi pesa watu huiba huko ndani. Sijasema ameiba, I'm just saying apart from that. So here's the thing. I do believe that it's a mistake that KRG the Don is doing.
By quitting music.
Music. Maybe his motivation is money to get into politics. Maybe his motivation is changing people's lives. As he says that uko kwenye anataka kwenda kuvai, ameona leaders huko wana exploit watu nini and he wants to, go vai. So I do believe angekuwa consistent kidogo, angepush. Maybe one day, just one day, we would be people in Australia would be shouting KRG the Don. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
My thought is, let me disagree with you a bit. You've made a lot of sense. Whatever you've said is not like it's a lie. I'm just trying to look at it in another way. Number one, I believe so much that I'm one of the few people that wanted KRG the Don to quit music like for real. It sounds,
oh my God.
It will sound mean for
yes
real, but you can just do something enough number of times to notice that it's not working for you. Bro, since the time you started your YouTube channel, if you are still doing the YouTube channel to date, and right now it could be, right now you are your way to 500,000.
Yes.
So let's say right now you could, this is 2024. You could be about 400, your way to 500.
Yes,
Not
yes.
500,000.
Yes, yes.
500 subscribers.
500.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it would have been realistic if you still kept on? Considering, let's say your YouTube channel has, is it been there for now? Let's say, is it 6 years or so? 6-7 years?
Since we started YouTube?
Yeah,
officially.
No. When you opened the channel.
It's
like 6-7 years.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So assuming like you've done YouTube for 7 years, and then it's like it's on the 7th year and your target is getting to 500 subscribers. Will it be wise to continue?
For 7 years.
Yes, for 7 years.
But I think what I believe is that you can achieve anything you put your mind to. That's the first thing.
For sure.
I just believe that if it's my 7th year,
come back. You said you can achieve
anything you put your mind to,
which I don't agree with, but okay.
By anything, I don't mean like literally anything.
Everything.
Ati unaweza kuwa Mungu. There are some things which cannot work.
Okay.
So what I believe is that if you put your mind to something, you're dedicated to making it work. You do proper research, proper rehearsal, proper everything. In terms of if it's music, for example, work on your vocals, work on your writing, work on your singing, work on your rapping, become a whole artist. Put your mind to it and work on it. You can become the best artist. That's what I believe. But if it takes me 7 years,
you can become the best artist that you could be.
Yes. Yeah. So, if it takes me 7 years, mpaka sahi niko na 500 subscribers.
Yes.
It just shows you that I didn't put my mind into it well and focus on it. And because let me ask you something. Why do you think, for example, let's look at Kevin Hart. He might not be funny to you or me or someone else who's watching, but he's one of the best actors in Hollywood.
He's a good actor, for sure.
Yeah, he's one of the best radio presenters. He's one of the best book authors. He's one of the best stand-up comedians. He's been able to do a variety of things. So I do believe that he put his mind to them, to that task, that specific task, knew what was needed to be done for you to be great at it, and worked towards that. So for me to take 7 years and unafika 500 subs, ni kama na I think sija put enough effort, sija put enough, I've not dedicated enough for it. So for KRG, for instance,
you just think that because you just think that he needed to do more, because by the look of things, one of the artists in Kenya that has always been known as a struggling artist has always been KRG. KRG has always been struggling so much, even to make people know the song that he just released. Like, for even people to know the songs that he has sung. He used to, this time I saw this lady walking around. I don't know whether it was staged, but it looks less staged. It was
akiuliza watu mangoma za
KRG, and almost everybody didn't know any of the songs, and I could relate, because personally, if you tell me right now very fast, I'm giving you 1 million Kenya shillings, tell me 5 songs by KRG, I won't even tell you. I can tell you only one, which is Mambo Imechemka.
Okay, what I think is maybe where KRG could have gone wrong, according to me, is that the hype on KRG became more of his money and his lifestyle than his music. And also, in a way, the type of music yenye KRG alikuwa anafanya, sema amequit. So yenye alikuwa anafanya, it looked like a type of music yenye ili hit a while back. The reggaeton Jamaican combination,
but it's back with the Abanton. Like, that's the same thing these guys who are doing Abanton are doing. The same type of music.
Yeah, no, nasema sasa venye yeye alikuwa naimba, the way he sounded.
Okay.
Alikuwa anataka kusound kama
We're talking about the Jamaican accent that he uses.
Yes. Okay. Ni kitu yenye ili hit na wasee kitambo na ikapitwa na wakati. I don't know.
Okay.
Because it's not even easy to do that.
It's, for sure. It's a talent to try to talk like those guys. You saw the other day, Obina alimess sana akitry kuongea hivyo. In fact, he made, in a way, he made, was it called Burning Spear? Was it Burning Spear? The guy who just came the other day was called? Glenn Washington. Was really mad. Like you saw, he was not happy when... Yeah, because in the introduction, Obina tried to copy the accent and it didn't come out right. It looked like he's making fun of the accent. Because it was so fake.
Yes.
And okay, let me dive. No, it's true. It's true. Me by them is him. I like the guy so much. I like him because of the hard work he's doing. Because let me tell you something, bro. Me, I'm always happy when I see somebody winning because we all want to do that.
Yes.
And when a fellow Kenyan is doing that, I'm so fucking happy for real. And even all this criticism I usually give about Obina is not because I hate him. It's because I like him so much. It's that your brother that you don't want to see going the wrong way. Because this is somebody that God has given an opportunity. He's having one of the biggest shows in Kenya. And if he makes mistakes, he's going to fuck it up.
Yes.
You see? But he can also make it a greater show.
Yes.
So when I see something that is going wrong in the show, I will tell him. Anaweza kuwa na kiburi aone ako na show na mimi sina, so hizi nisikiza. That is up to him. But he could be humble enough and listen, and that's how people grow. Yes. Understand? Coming back to story KRG, why I feel like KRG alikuwa anafaa tu kustop kuimba kitambo is because I believe KRG alikuwa na talent ya music from day one. Ni mtu tu. There are those things. Whatever you have said is true, that you can, when you put your mind on anything, you can do it. But there's always a but to that statement. If you put your mind on anything with the right connections, the right mindset, and the right ability, you have to be at least good enough. You can't be somebody who is struggling to run from this place to Uhuru Park. Then you want to beat Omanyala. There's no amount of training you're going to have that will ever make you beat Omanyala. There has to be something that is born inside you initially, in some things. You see, they usually say that talent is overrated, right? But it's necessary in some ways. In some situations, there's nothing you'll do. Some of us, it doesn't matter whatever we do, we can never play football. It doesn't matter wherever academy you'll take us to. You can never do it. It doesn't matter how much you'll train Mwala. You can never play basketball because he was never given that height. It doesn't matter if he takes the best coach in the world, the best nutrition, the best of everything, the best facilities. He'll not be able to jump as high as LeBron James. Yes. You see? So you can work hard in some things, but I actually believe that
kunafaa kuwa na foundation.
That you get to somewhere, you notice that, bro, this is not for me. Easy yangu. And music is just one of those things. It's not for this guy. You can get the best training, but this guy had the money, so I believe that he could even get the best voice coach. Yes. But he's not there for him. It's not even the songwriting. He could even get somebody writing for him the song. But if he doesn't have the delivery, he will not do it. You see? So it's just, there are people who have tried YouTube, bro. There are people who have tried the same thing you're doing, but it can't pay their bills. You see, that's why all of us can't make it in every area. All of us, if you try to compare, they usually say that if you try to compare a monkey and a fish on their ability to climb a tree, you'll be very unfair to the fish. You see, the same way if you try to compare a monkey with a fish and their ability to swim, you'll be very unfair to the monkey. So there are just some things that it doesn't matter how much you work, that you'll not be able to do them. It's just a reality, and that's why you need to choose something that at least you're at least good in. At least you should be able to throw one punch for you to be able to go and train for MMA. You see, but if you're somebody that your reach is not even more than 700 centimeters, there's no way you're going to get to a place where you can do such.
So that is why you're happy that KRG.
I'm happy so that right now you can concentrate on things which are better. You see.
Do you think he can be a good leader?
He could be. You never know. He's never tried it. Sometimes you just need to try stuff to see. And the issue said about guys wanting to give up. There are guys who give up when they're succeeding. Like when you gave an example with Jalas. There's some people who give up because they run to politics because of money. That is the wrong way to do it. That is so wrong. Because utafikiri utafuata pesa huko Now you leave your place, and the people who do these things that you've left, and they're making more money that you'll ever do there, unless you are planning kwenda huko na kuiba. Because Kenyan politics, for instance, if you are an MP, a maximum you can get to your account is about 2 million Kenya shillings. Yes. But we know the guys who are doing the exact thing that nani alikuwa anafanya Jalango, like Ali Abdal. And he's somebody who makes more than 40 million Kenya shillings per month. You see?
Mgani?
Ali Abdal.
Yeah, Ali Abdal.
Yeah, the guy who does productivity.
Yeah.
He makes that online.
Yeah, true.
True money.
Yeah,
so you can. So at the end of the day, if you're running from this because you think there's no money there, utakuwa to somebody who runs from things, then you see the next shiny object, you run to it.
It's like people say that YouTube ain't a MPESA yet. Mr. Beast is making millions of dollars.
Exactly. He's even richer than Ruto because of that. He's richer than Ruto by far. He's our president. So politics is not the way. But one thing I wanted to disagree with you about is the fact that we can assume that everybody who leaves a certain thing they was doing has made a wrong decision. Human beings, we are not usually, we don't only have one purpose in this life. There's always, if you've read, there's this book I once recommended to you, I don't know if you've read it, The Way of the Superior Man.
Yeah.
The guy talks about a man's mission in life, and he compares it to an onion.
Yes.
And he says that and when you say a man is both sexes, your mission in life is always like an onion. And when you uncover the first onion, there's always another layer to be opened, and you always get the deeper. And the deeper you go, the tougher it becomes. So when, let's say, you've gotten to a certain level, you've achieved something, they say that the only way to continue being successful is setting a new height. It could be a new adventure. It could be like, I'm done with this. Like a good example is Trevor Noah. The guy doesn't do his show anymore because he felt like whatever he had
he's overgrown it.
He has achieved whatever he planned. Not really overgrown, but he has achieved whatever he had planned with that purpose.
Yes.
So he's going for a higher
the next
purpose.
challenge.
Yeah. Because sometimes you notice that you've become a fish that is so big in a pool that has become so tiny for you. So you need to go to a bigger fish, a bigger pool. And when you go to the bigger pool sometimes, you become the small fish in the bigger pool. For instance, right now, Jalango could be very comfortable continuing being in Jalango show. But making that change to now leave it, something that is already working, to something you're not sure is going to work, like politics. If your purpose is, it's something else but money, it's more difficult, by the way, leaving something that's already working. And when you go to that, I think that is a plus rather than a minus, because you're just somebody that has...
So it depends with the motive.
Exactly, it depends on the motive. If it's something that you are achieving with this purpose, and you feel like you have achieved it right now, if you feel like whatever it is you're planning to achieve with this channel, that is to inform and to educate people to a level that you feel like people have been inspired to the level that you want, I won't be surprised when I see you tomorrow, maybe umeamua kufungua biashara ya kuuza kuku, and you're like, this is now my new purpose, and I want to be the biggest chicken seller in the whole country or in the whole world. So
and
sometimes it's not
probably
a bad
a
thing.
president after that. Because once you become a chicken seller,
you become the president.
You might end up being a president. So I think those are the stories that we had from Kenyan entertainment.
And during the weekend, you remember was it our third or fourth episode when I told you about vitu zinaenda kuchemkia my MPs was central? You remember when I told you that? That things are going to, it was even before they voted, and I remember telling him that if these guys try to vote against impeaching Gachagua, itawaramba vibaya sana. So over the weekend, what happened is several of it was not only MPs but anybody who is associated with Ruto and is the government were finding it a tough time.
They're having a hard time
going to even address the public in their various constituents. And a good example was Moses Kuria, who went to this event at night. There was this Kikuyu artist who was performing, and he was launching an album. Then Kuria tried to talk there, and ground ilimkataa mbaya. And this, I think you can see the video what really happened. So after all this, you have seen those videos, and what happened to these guys. You remember that MP, it's called MP Thuku, the guy from Kinango. Pia alifukuzwa kutoka kwa bar akiwa ameenda kujivinjari kujinaisa wa super. In fact, there's a place he almost got beaten up. In fact, wife yake, I think, ama girlfriend, alianza kumpusha away kumwambia twende, because I think he got drunk with the alcohol and with the power,
akafikiria hawa watu hawezi
peleka mahali, kumbe watu wanaweza kupeleka. So so mambo ilikuwa ngumu by the way. And even Susan Kihika went to a certain function that Ruto was supposed to go to, and since he cancelled, I think because he knew the public was not going to be receptive of him, he had to send Kihika, and Kihika was not even allowed to read his speech, you see. And even Ruto himself was supposed to go somewhere in Meru. Akachange. He had to go to his home.
Na Gachagua ndo alienda huko.
Gachagua ndo alienda na alirepresent mbaya sana.
Gachagua pia ni.
Alichoma ground mbaya sana. And so whatever is going to happen by there, this is, I don't know whether the MPs are saying this, but this is what's going to happen in the next the next few years before elections, if the election is going to be held in 2027, which I highly doubt. I said this and I still stand by this. Election is going to be held before that. But if it's going to be held by 2027, what's going to happen is that these leaders are going to find the ground really tough. In fact, majority of them are not going to find a place even to call home. Because remember what happened during time ya maandamano where these guys were even attacked at their homes.
Yes.
I think it's going to get to that point, especially after Gachagua has been impeached, especially in the central area. It's not going to be easy, and I think Ruto already knows, and the ground is really changing so fast. And I still believe that it's going to be very difficult to support even these guys. I mean, even to campaign. Even exactly. That's what I want to be very tough for everyone. For everyone, especially the guys who are supporting Ruto.
Bro, for anyone right now who is in the government, be it ODM, be it UDA, awase wote. Msi wote sahi kwa government, even Raila himself.
Ana Raila sahi
it's going to be very tough for him.
Very tough. Very tough.
And I really
and I wanted to even before you give me your point, I wanted to ask you this. Do you think the way we are behaving with our leaders, especially when they make moves or when they say we feel like they have misrepresented us, do you think they were going to an extent of even stopping deplatforming them from the churches and hey my goodness, yeah. Going to a level of deplatforming them in their constituents and even churches. Do you think that this is something that is fair to them, or we should it's okay to accept people who have the contrary opinion to whatever we hold, and we just give them time to do their job? No. Because these guys, for instance, they need to go back to their constituencies to see what's going on. For instance, if they support, they're trying to make a certain road to be developed by the government, I think it's up to them maybe to go to their constituency sometimes and to check and find out if the development even happening or not. Do you think
these are not, first things first, these are not people who hold contrary opinions. These are people who know our problems. Yeah. These are people who know what needs to be done. These are people who just chose not to do.
They chose to follow money.
Yes. These are people who just decided to follow their greed. Yeah. So it's just okay to deplatform them, because this is the thing. You live with people. Yeah. You know their problems. You're the one who can solve them, but you just
choose to ignore.
So why are we giving you a platform? I don't know if the word paradigm shift is a good word to use in this. Kitambo tulikuwa tunaona MP just because he's an MP.
No. Tulikuwa tumewaogopa mbaya sana.
Amekuja kanisani, amepea watu 1,100 ama 500, ameongea, ametukana, hata amewatukana nyinyi, ametukana hata wazazi wenu, amesema vijana waache kuwa lazy, wafungue mabiashara, wakuwe self-employed, and there was some fear instilled.
Hadi akitoka our moms wanachukua leso wanampangia na kanyaga kidogo gari yake.
Like who ni mheshimiwa fulani. But now people don't care.
People came to realize that
wewe ni mheshimiwa wa nini?
Wa nini? Mbona tukuheshimu?
We gave you the power and you're misusing it.
And you can always take it back when you want to.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I really believe that any leader who's actually not responsible
should not be given a platform.
And an audience. Na he must go.
So wewe una encourage wa Kenya waendelee na hiyo injection. Wafinye hapo. Yeah, it's good.
Hapo wafinye tu. As long as anyone is a leader and they're not doing what they're supposed to do, waende tu home.
So that at least the new crop of leaders will come next will know that there's an accountability.
Yes.
That these guys si wale wajinga wenye utawafanyia tu vile wanajisikia, then you come back to the constituency, they'll be clapping for you.
The narrative has actually changed.
Sure.
Sidhani kama kuna mtu saa hii afanyi Kenya nafaa tu kufanya na anafikiria tekienda home ground receive just because he's going to give them 1,000 bob, 10,000, 100k.
Sure.
He knows like nafaa kufanya hii kasi jafanya. I'm an enemy of the people.
Yeah, and the people deal with me.
Yes.
And and I believe that if that's what's happening, I just want to echo these words by Lincoln, that let's not look at what Kenya is doing for us. Let's look at what we're doing for Kenya. Like for instance, we people who have these platforms, like if you have a YouTube channel, if you have a Facebook channel, if you have a TikTok channel, let's not just be the people who sit back and look at how watu wanafukuza our leaders kwa places, alafu tunawapigia kama kofi na we make these issues trend, because hii issue may trend sana about leaders being thrown away from the churches and being thrown away from funerals. Sisi pia places where we are at, use whatever you have to make these things, the leadership find it so difficult to use us again. Like if you are a musician, toa nyimbo za kutukana wase. It's okay to tell them the truth. You see, if you're somebody who has a YouTube channel, it's okay to talk about these issues and enlighten people, inform people. In fact, it's okay to be an activist in your own channel. If you have a Facebook channel, if you have a TikTok, if you are whatever it is you have, and even if you are a church leader, we were to talk about pastors, but we'll talk about them next time. This week also the churches did a very good job. In fact, most of the churches were like against all these things that the government has been doing. I think we all need to go in that direction. Maybe you can be at a point and you think that you have nothing to do. Unasema kina Morara wenye wamechangiwa pesa ndio have something to do. But trust me, activism needs no money.
Yes.
Wherever you are at,
just use your voice.
Yeah, just use your voice. And with the time, the leaders will get to a place that they'll have to listen to us.
Me, I think I'll just finish this conversation with this statement. Kuna watu nikasirisha sana nikiona wakisema, me I'm not into politics. Me spendi siasa. By the way, I think that is a backward mentality.
It's a very backward mentality.
Like, you cannot live in a country that is frustrating you, that is not playing its role, that is not doing anything.
The government that you are serving, but is not serving you. You're serving it with your taxes.
Na wewe unaanza kusema ati unless you're not paying taxes, unless you don't live in Kenya and you don't even plan to live here, ama to come and visit, unless you have nothing to do with Kenya, unless you change citizenship, ukamwa mimi sitaki kuwa Mkenya. That is the only time you should say mimi sitaki stories.
Because as long as you are associated with Kenya, you have to be associated with the politics.
Yes.
Because, for instance, if you're in Kenya, then you'll get sick.
Yes. You need the medical services.
Exactly.
They're bad. They are pathetic right now.
Exactly. Your children need to go to school.
Thank you.
You'll have to read. You'll have to ride
you have
on
to
the
use
roads.
Those roads.
Those roads.
Yeah.
You'll have a business or you'll have a work.
Yes.
You'll pay taxes.
Yes.
So in a way, this is what we are taught in political science, that politics is life and life is politics. You can never separate the two.
Thank you.
Understand?
Yeah. And on that note, we end on air with presenter Ali. I'll see you guys in the next episode.